hand workers. Okay, so there are different sectors, different types of workers. L is the number of left hand workers. MRPL is the revenue or the wage, dollars per hour. So going wage rate for a left hand workers is set as $10 per hour. Okay. So this wage rate is already set. So W equal to MRPL is the profit maximizing situation. You should remember. But employer A discriminate against these workers. There's a prejudice. Okay. It's a prejudice and has a discrimination coefficient or the discount factor of D, which is $2 per hour. Okay. So they would be, of course, taking out this. Now they are asking graph the MRPL and show how many left-hand workers employer A hires. How much profit A loses due to discrimination. So guys, please remember they have given you MRPL demand curve and they are telling you that at what wage they are being hired. And also the fact is they are also saying there's a certain discount factor. Okay, so because it's a prejudice, some kind of a discounting factor would be involved. Now they are saying that if a person is indulging into this discrimination practice, so we have said in the model of the prejudice model that if a person undertakes a discrimination, then he's a utility maximizer and not a profit maximizer, because he's operating at a point where he's not gaining a maximum profit because he's employing a labor at a lower level of employment, so he can increase the employment and increase his profit. So we have to find out that value of, you can say, a dead weight loss that he's incurring. So guys, so what we will do, we will first find out that what a profit maximizer or a non-discriminatory employer will hire. So they will definitely hire up till the point where wage becomes equal to MRPL. Guys, I hope the question is clear. समझ आया question? Guys, are you able to understand the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, first we are talking about a non-discriminating employer, simple a profit maximizer who would employ up till the point where wage becomes equal to MRPL. So wage is already given to us 10 per hour equal to the MRPL curve 20 minus 0.5. So we solve for the L and we find out that ultimately he should be hiring 20 workers. Now what about a discriminatory who is having this discrimination of $2 per hour? So guys, what we will do, so employer will hire left-hand workers till wage plus D equal to the MRPL. So guys, it becomes 10 plus 2 given equal to 20 minus 0.5 L. So 0.5 L R basically labor becomes equal to the 16 for the employer. So guys, have a look at. So once we have these values L and the wage which he's actually being ultimately paying, we could figure it out that how much discrimination he's doing or what is the dead weight loss or the loss he would be actually facing. So guys, very carefully see the diagram itself. MRPL curve, you can find out $20 40 L. Okay, using this equation when L is 0, so we have 20. Now basically the employment would become 40 and ultimately if there are no labor then the $20 access could be figured it out. So guys, if there is or no discrimination, then what is happening, then guys you can see I have written ND equal to W, then your wage rate is 10 and the employer is hiring till 20. Okay, 20 is the number of employment that he is giving. Whereas when a person is going for some kind of a discrimination, then W plus D, your wage becomes 12, but then they will ultimately hire only 16 number of individual other workers. Now, what we have to find out, we have to find out this EFG triangle. That is, this is the loss a person will be experiencing when he's operating at point E rather than operating at the point G. So it's a simple area of the triangle, half length into breadth, which is half 12 minus 10, which is the wage rate difference, minus the number of employment difference, 20 minus 16, which gives you a loss of $4 per hour. I hope it is clear, guys. I hope, guys, देख लो
Ma'am, so to graph the MRP, to
MRPL का.
graph this, yes,
Hmm.
ma'am, to graph this curve, we don't need before and after discrimination values, right? We can just simply draw this by this equation which is given.
Before and
As
after
you said,
before and after discrimination value कौन सा वाला हर्षिता?
मैम मतलब wage जब that he is hiring for less number, like for less labors, so
Mm-hmm.
that we do not need, right, to graph this curve.
No, we don't need. We just need the information which has been provided. So what are we doing, Harshika? There are two cases. One is the person who is discriminating, and one is the person who is not discriminating. Okay. So wage rate is already given. Okay. So ongoing wage rate means this is a competitive market wage rate that is given. So which is given as $10 per hour, and demand curve is given. So we know a profit maximizer will always employ up to a point where MRPL equal becomes to W. So we solve for it. Okay. That becomes your first situation, which is point G, 10 and 20. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the second thing is, now I have to look into that if there is a discrimination is happening, then how much labor that person will be employing. Of course, that would mean they would only hire up to a certain level, or they will hire only white male. So in order to hire them, they will pay them a greater wage. Okay. So what happens, we add wage plus D, the discrimination factor, or whatever you want to say, discount factor, which becomes 10 plus 2, again equivalent to the MRPL equation or the demand equation. And we observe that at this level, your labor is 16. So your wage is 12 and the labor employed 16. So this difference, only this we have to calculate. So we don't need any sort of a wage rate or the MRPL, what would be post or what would be the pre. We don't require. Whatever is given, that's it.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Only two situations, discrimination and non-discrimination. That's it. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, guys, this third question. So, guys, again, they are talking about there's a market demand for female workers, which is given by or dependent upon the relative wage of female to males. So, guys, what they're saying, the market demand, that is, you can say DD of F, is equivalent to the relative wages, which is WF by WM. And now, what is the equation of WF by WM, which is given equal to 1.1 minus 0.001 NF. NF is the number of females that we are employing. This equation is only up to the level when we are employing female workers which are less than 1,000. First equation. Then, if the number of female workers which are hired between anywhere between, it's a step function between 1,000 to 5,000, then the relative wage or the demand function, which is equivalent to your WF by WM, is 1. The third condition or the third situation is that if the number of female workers are more than 5,000, then your demand function, which is a function of your relative wages of WF by WM, becomes 1.5 minus 0.001 by NF. Now the question is asking, graph the demand curve and calculate the relative wage of female workers when the number hired, 3 points, three values you have to calculate the demand curve. When the your NF is 200, second when your NF is 2000, third when your NF is 7000. Now, the final question they're asking, when does the discrimination harm the female workers in the market? So, we will observe at what level or what part of my demand function my relative wages start to fall. Okay, once my relative wages start to fall at a point, that would be the point where discrimination is harming me. So, guys, what we will do? It's a very simple question, very easy question. So, they have asked you to graph at these points. So, guys, when my NF is less than, you can say 1000, which equation I will be utilizing, guys, to find out the demand function? First, they are asking to find out a relative wages or the demand curve when the number of labor is higher 200. So, which equation I will be utilizing?
First.
First. So what I'm doing, I'm just substituting the value. So guys, 1.1 minus this value of decimal 0.001 into 200. They are saying to for plot for 200. So once I substitute that, I will get a value of 1.0. So guys, this point A is nothing but your, you can say, guys, you can label, I forgot to label. The 1.1 is the extreme point, top one. A point would be labeled as your 1.0. Okay. I hope this is clear. Guys, is it fine? This first point.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, second, they are talking about when the number of female workers which are hired is 2000. So guys, which equation will be I will be using? We don't have to calculate any value. It is given. If the number of female workers are between this and this, the demand function is equal to the relative wages, which are equal to
1.
1. So guys, if I'm saying it's 1, it's 2000. So it will be a step function, straight line. At point B, the value is 1. So anywhere between 1000 to 1000, that is 1001 to 5000, your relative wages or demand curve will be a straight line. Now guys, very quickly, fast guys, इसमें ज़्यादा time नहीं लगा सकते, बहुत easy है. Now they are asking about when the workers are 7000. So guys, which equation I will be utilizing?
So 1.5 minus
So guys, now I'll just substitute your NF with 7000 and I get the value of your point 0.8. Now I'm labeling this point C as point 0.8. Okay. So guys, any value between 5000 to, one second. Yeah. Okay, just one second. Sorry. Yeah. So guys, anywhere between this 5000 to 10,000, there's a downward sloping demand curve or a typical demand curve. The value of the C at this point becomes point 0.8. Now guys, tell me, at which level do you feel the discrimination would hurt the female workers? At which point? Point A, B, C? Which part of the demand curve do you feel would be bad? And which part could be good for female workers?
Um, ma'am, since the ratio is female to male, so when it's 1 or more, it would benefit the females, and when it's 0.8, it would not benefit the females.
Yes. So, guys, exactly. So, the thing is, even if you just look by the calculation, if your number of workers, if I talk about only the net N only itself, so guys, if you would keep on increasing the number of female workers, the relative wages have start to fall, which is a bad, and that might set a pace for a discrimination. Whereas if the number of female workers are less, particularly below 1000, it is favoring the relative wages. Their wages are increasing. So it's better to have female workers which are fewer than 1000. Of course, 1000 to 5000 bhi chalega, which is similar. There is no discrimination, but the favor would be where I have a larger wages. Okay. So guys, let's say the same thing has been written, that discrimination only hinders or would be problematic when I hire more than 5000 because the wages start to drop. Whereas anywhere the workers which are less than 1000, there is no sort of a discrimination. Okay, so that is one thing. I hope this question is clear, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, guys, very, very fast. So, guys, now again, there is a one question. There are two types of two. It's a comparable worth law question. Okay. So, comparable worth law, we are comparing different labor market. So, guys, there is a one labor market for delivery truck drivers, labor supply given, labor demand curve given. Similarly, there is a market for librarian, labor supply given, labor demand curve given. They are asking us to find out the equilibrium wage and employment in each of the occupation and explain what will happen if a comparable worth law mandates that a librarian wage should be increased or equal to the delivery truck. So guys, I just explained you, agar comparable worth law lagate hain, meaning that I should increase the wage of a particular sector, what would happen? What would be the implication, guys? Even if there is no demand, what would happen to that sector? If I increase the wage deliberately, though there is no demand for that sector,
And the demand will increase now because of high wages.
supply would increase, labor supply will increase ना, demand थोड़ा ना increase है.
Yeah, I mean, number of people
हाँ,
getting.
so labor supply increase होगा, but what would happen? Would they be employed?
No, ma'am, this would result in unemployment.
So, guys, please remember, even before looking into the solution, because they are asking what would happen. So, comparable worth law implication is that if there is a comparable, if they implement this policy, there will be a large unemployment in the sector that would happen. So, guys, let's see this numerical, which will clarify this explanation that I've given you. So, guys, first equilibrium wage and employment for the truck driver, LS equal to LD, we find out the equilibrium wage rate, which will come out to be $15 per hour. Then substituting in any of the equation of supply or demand curve, I get the number of labor. So 15 and 30. So guys, you can mark panel A, panel B. I am not marked, sorry. So guys, first one is for the truck drivers, supply curve, demand curve. 15 is the wage rate and 30 is the number of employment they are providing. For librarians, similarly, unka equation is given. We will substitute. We are able to figure it out. Their wages is $13.67. So guys, which is less than what the truck drivers are receiving. And at this wage rate which the librarian are getting, the how much labor I will be employing, it would be 53. So guys, can you see I have labeled it as 53 and 13.67. Now guys, they have asked that due to comparable worth law, what we are saying, that $15 should be provided to librarian as well. So guys, you can create this diagram and see that if I'm providing, or if I'm giving them the $15, what is happening? Supply will be much larger, but ultimately I will be demanding only, you can say 40, or I will be moving to point B. So guys, there is a shift from point A to point B. That is, there will be a short, or there will be a rise in the unemployment in this sector. So guys, what we will do, W15, I'll substitute the value in LD and LS. You could see the labor demand at this wage rate is only 40 for librarians, but the labor supply is 60. So you can see there is a unemployment of 20 workers or the librarians, which will be a part of this, which will be due to the comparable worth law. I hope this question is clear, guys. Guys, कहना था guy निकल गया. Guys, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
सबको, guys, I want yes from everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys,
Yes, ma'am.
now guys, this is the question on the appendix which we were talking about, the rating wala thing, that how to make sure that, one second guys. Yeah, regarding the earning gaps. Okay, so we use a rating. So in order to make sure that if you and someone else belonging to some other gender have the same rating, then they should be provided the same wage. Okay, so guys, we have not done the theory. I'm explaining you through this numerical example only. So guys, the question is given as the following tables gives the A point. This is a rating point. Okay, A point. It's a company which rates. Total for the 5 female jobs. There are different 5 female job. You can write it as job 1, job 2, job 3, which though it is not written, you can still write for your clarity, and the corresponding monthly salary of your female workers. So guys, 5 jobs, 5 rating points are given, and corresponding to that, these are the average salary of females which they are getting from these 5 different jobs. Okay guys, I hope this thing is clear. Any question? These are the rating points and these are the salaries which their employer is giving to them. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now guys, the thing is, it's a comparable. So what we are trying to say, that if this is the point, and if the males are also given the same points, then ultimately what should happen, the male should also be receiving the similar salaries, that is 1200, 1300, 1500. But in reality, that is not the fact. So guys, they are actually giving us a certain data. They're saying a least square regression analysis have been done, and applied to the data for the male occupation. So guys, what they have done, they have undertaken a study and they have found out a certain regression analysis, and they have found out the regression equation for males, basically their earning equation based on their rating point. And what is their regression equation, guys? SI means the salary of your male counterpart, which is equivalent to some number, or you can say it is a kind of constant 1200 plus 0.90 of a point, that is the point 200, 310, 425, so on and so forth. So guys, basically if I want to calculate the salary of a male counterpart who is given a rating of 200 point, then I will just substitute HP by 200 and I will figure it out what is the salary a male is getting. Guys, I hope that I'm making sense. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So guys, this is a regression equation for the earnings that a male occupant will get if he's being hiring on these 5 different occupation. Okay, so now they are saying, using the male equation, please estimate the earnings that the female would be earned based on the HP level of occupation. Analyze whether the discrimination appears to exist or not, or is there a problem with the skill level. So guys, simply first thing what we have to do, so this average salaries of females are constant, they are given. I now have to calculate the average salary of males dollars by utilizing this equation. So what I will do, these rating points are given 200, 310, 425, 500, 550. So corresponding to these HP points, I'll calculate the male salaries. So what I do, 1200 plus zero point 0.9 into 200. So for every corresponding hay point, I calculate the male salary. So guys, I'm skipping this. I'm going to the table itself. So HP female salary and the male salary. So I'll get these value. Now I have to figure it out. Is there any gap? So guys, can you observe the gap? Can you see the difference? Guys, is there a divergence between the salary which a female and a male is receiving? Guys, is there a difference or no? They are getting the similar salary.
Ma'am, there's a difference.
So guys, this is what you have to do. Even if there's no difference, you have to calculate the gap. So we have to calculate the gap, that is male salary minus the female salary. 1380 minus 1200. For the first one, it's 180. For the second HP point, the difference is 179. With every new HP point, guys, can you see, is the gap increasing or is the gap narrowing? What is happening?
Narrowing.
So guys, the question is also asking about that why rating points are increasing. That means the jobs are becoming more and more skilled, they are becoming more and more, you can say, technical. So guys, this is not only about any sort of a discrimination, but what they are saying, that this gap appears or diminish with the skill level. So what they are saying, that with every subsequent skilled job, you don't find any discrimination with respect to male or female. So if you have the required productive skills, that is, you have the good education, you have those technical capabilities, then of course the wage differential will not be much. Okay, it might be somewhere 1 or 2 points, but largely both of them would be hired on the same level if you have the required skill set with you. Okay, so that is what they're asking. Guys, is this question clear? Is this question clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so guys, but guys, mark this question as very very important. Okay, so you might not get the same this salary equation. There would be some change in your this regression equation. Okay, but this question might, there's a very very high probability of this question. Okay, so mark this as important.
Ma'am, this is question number.
गाइस ये मुझे तो गाइस तुम्हारे बाइंडर में क्वेश्चन नंबर है, दिस इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, एक बार चेक करना, आई थिंक
No,
बाइंडर।
ma'am.
हाँ
Ma'am, it's not there.
हाँ, बाइंडर से उन्होंने पेज ही घुमा दिए। सो गाइस आई विल शेयर दिस, लेट मी,
Ma'am, can you share this doc only?
हाँ आई शेयर। So guys, if you will see na, in book you have many numericals, but in the binder we don't have. Okay, so this question number 5. Okay, so guys, very quickly, I think two are remaining. Oh, sorry. Okay, so guys, again, sixth question, which is similar to the question 4, MRPL equal to wage. So guys, they are saying, and guys, please remember, जो भी हमें given है, हम उसी के साथ काम कर रहे हैं. I don't want any extra data. I don't want any extra assumption. So जो भी data given है, that is what I will work with. Suppose that a hourly MRPL, marginal revenue productivity of all the workers in a particular labor market is given by this equation 20 minus L, where L is the number of workers. Now again, the hourly wage rate is given for the women in this market, which is W equal to $5.75. So guys, ये तुम्हें already given है. What is the gap between MRPL and wage in this labor market if L is equal to 12? Okay, so labor units are given. So, is this gap a reliable measure of discrimination against women in this labor market or not? So guys, what we are doing, MRPL equal to 20 minus L, where we are saying that what should be the actual MRPL at this time. It should actually be your actual wage rate that you should be receiving if I'm employing your labor units of 12. So I'll just substitute this value, that is L equal to 12, which gives me 8, meaning that my marginal productivity is 8. As a result, my current wage rate should be equal to 8 itself. But what we are being provided, it is said that the wage rate for women in this market is only $5.75. So what is the you can say wage gap or the discrimination that I'm facing? 8 minus 5.75, which is equal to your $2.25. Okay, so guys, that's it. You just have to mark this. We don't have to find out if 5.75 hai to kitna labor hoga. We don't have to do this. We will just stop at this point. Okay, 8 5.75, this 2.5 is the difference. That is what we are looking into. They have asked for nothing else. Okay, so, but women are hired at only 5.75. So, a small explanation which will come from theory. So, guys, says in a competitive labor market, firms should be higher where becomes equal to your MRPL. If the market is competitive, then it appears that employers are not doing this, because for a competitive market, W needs to be equal to MRP. And they could devalue MRPL due to prejudice. That is, if they are acting as if women are less productive. However, there could be other reasons. So, one reason for this discrimination is your prejudice or bias against the women. But there could be some other non competitive elements also in this. However, there are reasons other than this that makes wage less than equal to MRPL. In some cases, like a monopoly behavior of the labor markets, where workers are generally paid less than your MRPL, so that this profit could be extracted by that monopolist. Okay, so that is one of the reasons. Also, these observation that wages are less than MRPL does not necessarily imply discrimination. Okay, so you can, there could be also reason that this might not be a discrimination, that is the just wages which are paid because of the kind of job profile it is. It might be a secondary job, unskilled job. So 5.5 might be a just thing. So guys, this is a simple, there is no hard and fast question, not large technical. A small part of wage gap you have to calculate, and then talk about from your theory that what could be the possible reasons for this discrimination, and even if this is discrimination or not. Guys, I hope this is clear. Guys, is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, just this last question. So guys, last year na? हाँ, okay. So guys, it says again सारे question MRPL और wage rate पे ही है. So guys, suppose the MRPL in a particular labor market is given by this value. So same equation है guys. Imagine MRPL equal to 20 minus L, where L is the number of workers. Now suppose women are receiving $8 per hour. Okay, that is their wage rate, and 10 women are hired. They are giving you L, okay, as well. How many workers would a non-discriminatory employer will hire, and how much profit is the employer will be is willing to forego by hiring these 10 female workers? So guys, this is similar question to what we have done in the question number 2. Okay, so we are just doing it in a, because there are some extra values which they are given. So guys, now first of all, what values we are given? So guys, if the wages are $8 per hour, okay, then for a profit maximizing, you can say, employer, MRPL must be equal to wage. So 8 equal to 20 minus L, meaning that 12 workers must be hired. But ultimately, what is happening? Only 10 are hired. We will just come to that part. So profit. So guys, 1 second. So guys, first look into this diagram very carefully. MRPL curve, downward sloping demand curve, axis you can find out, okay, by substituting these value. If L becomes 0, your MRPL becomes 20. Similarly, if your L becomes 0, then your L becomes 0, then it is MRPL. When your L becomes 0, then MRPL 20. So same value. So you can find out these axis value. Now the thing is, if my wage rate is 8, ultimately your employer must hire 12. Okay, please remember, this is a part with when employer is a non-discriminatory individual, or you can say, or he who is a profit maximizing employer. So this should be the case. So first I have to calculate how much profit that he's earning. So guys, for profit, which is the area, which area I should be calculating for the profits? Area of profit, MRPL minus wage. So guys, what would be the area? गाइस डायग्राम में ही देख के बता दो एरिया क्या होगा. What would be the part of his profits? There has to be some area. So guys, area is nothing but this ABC. So guys, half 20 minus 8 into this 12, the number of labor. So guys, profit of the employer would be the area under the demand curve above the horizontal wage line. So this profit MRPL minus the wage. So which is nothing but your area of the triangle ABC, which is half into 20 minus 8 difference, and the number of labors that are higher, that is into 12. So a non-discriminatory employer has a profit of $72. Is it clear? Is it clear? ये वही मॉडल है which we did for prejudice model. Same discrimination and non-discrimination. Is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the thing is, you are already given that if a person who is discriminating, he's hiring 10 women. Okay, but we know that of course 10 is not the optimal point. So guys, very carefully you have to see. 1 second. Yeah. So guys, only 10 female workers are hired. So guys, very carefully look into this diagram. So guys, if 10 would be hired, okay, you can, so guys, you can just substitute this value. I think I have not done. I should be doing this. So guys, if 10 workers are hired, what would be the wage they will be getting? So I'll substitute L by 10. The wages becomes equal to 10. Guys, is it correct? Is it correct? Guys, yes or no बोल दो. Guys, a discriminatory employer is hiring only 10 workers. So which wage he will be providing? 20 minus 10. Wage becomes 10. Is it right or wrong? Okay. So guys, this becomes 10. So guys, this point F is basically a equilibrium point where a discriminatory employer is working. So 10 MRPL or the wage rate, and 10 is the unit of labor that they are hiring. Now we have to figure it out the profit that he will be earning. So guys, for this discriminatory employer, the profit area becomes, that is, area below the MRPL and above the wage rate. Okay, because it's a demand curve. So your profit becomes your area below the demand curve and above the price. In this case, the price is the wage rate. So guys, basically area equal to the AFDB. Guys, I've written AFDB or ABFD, whatever you want to say. So which is basically a combination of the triangle AGF plus the area of this rectangle, which is GFBD. So once I substitute these value for the area of the triangle, half into 20 minus 10 into the number of people who have been employed, 10, plus area of the rectangle, which is length into breadth, nothing else, 10 minus 8 into 10. So once I do these values, it comes out to be $70. So guys, for a non-discriminatory, for a profit maximizers, the value is $72. For a utility maximizer who is actually trying to create a discrimination because of prejudice, he's getting only $70. So he's actually having a loss of $2. You can actually just calculate the value by using this method, or for this triangle, which is actually equivalent to the deadweight loss, that is FDC, which will also give you $2. So guys, thus if the employer discriminates and hires only 10 females, the discriminatory employer is giving up to $2 per hour in profit, which is the difference between the two areas, which is CFD. Guys, is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, this was the last question from this what do we say, uh, chapter 12. So guys, all the numericals have been done. Please remember this numerical as this one, and as very very important. And also this MRPL wala, I'll tell you which one is the most important. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So guys, these questions, these numerical or the problems have been covered up. And if I'll go to the chapter 9 of this book, which we did earlier, again, all the numericals have been covered up. I think for that I have done in the class for chapter 9. Yes. So guys, these were the problems, okay, where we have found out the net present value of undertaking a particular job or education or not. Okay. So this was an appendix question of your cobweb model, question number 2. Question number 3, again looking into the net present value of the two investment that I have. Then the question 4 is about calculating the internal rate of return. Guys, ये question किया था, question number 4. Did we do this question?
No, ma'am.
ओके,
हमने
तो
किया।
किया था ना? हाँ, किया था ये। किसने बोला नहीं किया था? Okay. So guys, in this question number 5, again the question number 5 is a replica of your question number 1. Same. The only difference is that in the first question we are taking a very long term of 12 years, whereas in the question number 5 we are just taking the timeline of 5 years. Okay, that's the only difference. So again, these questions have been done, but guys, this question is very important. That is question number 2 out of every question. Okay, जिसमें we have to talk about the 3 ways in which it's a cobweb question. So 3 rounds of your disequilibrium that we have before we reach to your long run equilibrium point. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, of course I'm just ending. Okay. So guys, if you will see this thing, uh, this question bank that I have shared with you of all the prospective questions that could come. Okay. So guys, can you see this question? Index of dissimilarity. So again, same, the values are just changed up. Okay. And similarly, question for the cobweb, sorry, so comparable worth law. So guys, this again, they have given you, I've told you now that your regression equation will be changing. But how do we do that? It will be exactly similar. So guys, it's a very easy question. So the backend question that we did, there the value of your NI or the HPI was very big. In this, you can see it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you would do, you would just substitute these value and find out the average salary of males, and then just make the comparison that whether there is any differential or not, and if that difference is narrowing or expanding. And if it is narrowing, is it because of the skill or for some other reasons? Okay. So same. So guys, basically, if you would look into this particularly, uh, all the prospective questions relating to your chapter 9 and 12, these are from the back end. So guys, similarly, this one, question number 16, MRPL given, wage 15 given, and the current wage rate is $5. So guys, this is the last question, sixth question that we discussed. So you would just calculate the actual labor which has been hired and what is the difference between. So guys, very simple question, very easy. So all the questions have been covered. Now just revise, and these are certain extra questions which you can do or you can revise by practicing from this data set. So guys, again this question, same question. MRPL, wage rate, labor 6. Is there any discrimination or not? Then again, 2 types of market, store manager and some other. So if there's a comparable worth law, what is the kind of, if we impose a comparable worth law, will there be a rise in employment, fall in employment? What would happen? Okay, that you have to comment. So question number 5, A, B. So you would have many questions, guys. Basically, these are different questions you can practice. Okay, so utilize them. This is of course cobweb model. Okay. Guys, anything else you want to ask? Guys, if you have any questions, please ask.
I'm not as of now.
Not as if now. Okay, so guys, I'm just telling you that in which part or which numericals that you have to work on. So guys, of course, from the first unit, there are no. In the unit 2, you would have that utility question, okay? That is for your healthcare services, okay? That would be the one numerical. Then the second numerical which will come, which will, let me just write, unit 2, okay? Then from unit 3, the question will be from your immunization. That would be a prospective numerical. So where we're talking about the probability. So social marginal benefit, private marginal benefit, that would be. Then from the unit 4, there will be no numerical. Then from your unit 5, that is from your education sector, the numericals will start coming. So guys, from chapter 9, it will be on the net present value and your cobweb model. Okay, that would be. Then in chapter 12 that we did today, largely question index of dissimilarity, and then there will be a question on your comparable worth law, and then it will be on a prejudice or a, this is basically a prejudice model question which we have been doing. Okay, so guys, this is the basic idea.
मैम वो यूनिट 4 में जो बर्डन ऑफ डिजीज है उसमें से नहीं आएंगे?
यूनिट 4 है वो क्या?
यस मैम, आई थिंक सो।
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो यूनिट 3 है, चेक करना एक बार। यूनिट 4 तो डिटेल वाला है ना?
यस मैम, फूड एंड न्यूट्रिशन।
हाँ, तो वो तो थ्योरी क्वेश्चन है, ठीक है? डिटेल वाला यूनिट 4 है मेरे हिसाब से।
हाँ मैम, यूनिट ये इम्यूनाइजेशन वाला यूनिट 2 में है ना, चैप्टर 7।
नहीं नहीं, यूनिट 2 में।
हाँ, और फिर यूनिट 3 में वो है
अच्छा अच्छा,
प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड बर्डन ऑफ
या
डिजीज।
सो गाइस, हाँ ये यूनिट 2 का ही पार्ट है, सॉरी भूल गई, सॉरी। सो गाइस, इसको ठीक करो, 1 सेकेंड 1 सेकेंड। यूनिट 3 गाइस, थैंक्स प्लीज। हाँ, यूनिट 3 रिगार्डिंग हेल्थ प्रोजेक्ट्स, ओके। इसमें से क्या क्वेश्चन आएगा? दिस इज बेसिकली योर कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव एनालिसिस वाला क्वेश्चन डेफिनेट आएगा, आइदर फ्रॉम योर ड्रग वाला और योर स्क्रीनिंग क्वेश्चन, ओके। जो दो एग्जांपल्स थे, आइदर ऑफ टू कुड कम। ड्रग वाला तो पक्का पक्का आएगा, स्क्रीनिंग वाला कुड बी अ लार्जर, थोड़ा बड़ा होगा वो क्वेश्चन, इफ दैट
मैम
काउंट्स।
एचडीआई वाला
वो यू एचडीए वाले क्वेश्चन, दैट इज नॉट अ न्यूमेरिकल, वो बड़ा न्यूमेरिकल नहीं है गाइस, सो दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव नॉट केप्ट। इफ यू वांट यू कैन स्टिल राइट इट। ठीक करने दो, ठीक है? अब ठीक है?
यस मैम।
Okay, so guys, unit 3, drug and screening. Apart from that, question on gambling, very important guys. इसके बिना तो पेपर पूरा ही नहीं होगा, ठीक है? Gambling, and the last one is about your tallies, okay? Quality adjusted life years saved. Basically, whenever there are two opportunities, that if a disease is detected at that particular age, and if there is a certain kind of program that government comes in, then your life is expanded, okay? So guys, that is very very important. So guys, एक second wait करना, एक second guys, 1 second. This is the gambling question. I hope the screen is visible. Guys, screen दिख रहा है? So guys, ये question, remember that an individual has a choice. He's of a particular age, and the particular probability that he attached to his life for a healthy year, point 0.4. Then he has a choice of going for a treatment and another choice of not going for a treatment. Okay, so we have to find out a probability where an individual is indifferent between the two choices. So guys, this probability P1, P2, whether to go for treatment or whether to not to go for a treatment. So guys, basically we have to find out this value of your Q or P, whatever you want to say. So guys, first option is treat. Basically to go with the status quo, wherever it is. I will not be treating them. Other one is a treatment. So again, with the treatment, there are two probabilities. Either I will be saved, I would get a full length life. The second probability is that I might succumb to the death. Okay, in that case, point 0.2 and death is 0. So in this case, I think we have done this question in the class now, if I remember.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, so ये गैम्बलिंग वाला है, फिर मैं ये बात नहीं कर रही इस पे, ठीक है. देन द सेकंड वन वाज अ कैलीज न्यूमेरिकल, जो मैंने तुम्हें दिया था. आई डोंट थिंक कितना ने सॉल्व किया है, तो मैं इसका सोल्यूशन तो दूंगी नहीं. सो गाइस,
Please, ma'am.
नहीं नहीं, तो मुझे आंसर बताओ क्या कैलकुलेट किया है. So guys, this Kelly's question was that a town where individual is expected up till the age of 65 years. However, there is a disease which get detected only at the age of 18 years and not before. The disease reduces the quality of a life of a person to 0.65 of a year for 10 years. So guys, 18 साल पे age पे you are detected with I am detected with the disease, sorry. And then फिर till the 10 years, from 18 to 28, the productivity of my life is only 0.65. And then after that, that is from 28 years till 45, the productivity that I attach to my life is only 0.03, resulting in the death after. Okay, but the government comes up with a certain program at a time of detection, so I can only go for a program at the time of detection only, not later. And that program is successful, and now they're asking that a person full life could be secured or not. So guys, ये भी question मैंने दिया था, so I'm just explaining the diagram, then you can give me the answer. So guys, life expectancy is 65 years, and if he has nothing, the quality of life is 1. Now we are saying the probability or the productivity falls to 0.65 when the disease is detected at the age of 18, and this will run throughout till the age of 28. Okay, for 10 years, my life value is 0.65, but then at the age of 28, the life value is 0.03 till the your 17 years. So I think 45 minus 28 is 17. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so for 17 years, the value is 0.03. Now I have to find out that what are the quality calories of life would be saved if I go for the treatment and if I don't get a chance for the treatment. So guys, you have to calculate that. I think I have done. Guys, किसी ने solve किया था ये question? Guys, did anyone solve this question or no? क्यों चिया, क्यों? सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, सिंपल. सो गाइस, इसमें सिर्फ वेट और ईयर्स ऑफ लाइफ दैट आई विल बी एबल टू लिव, आई हैव टू यूटिलाइज दैट. सो गाइस, वेरी केयरफुली सी, इसको स्नैपशॉट मत लेना, ठीक है, मेहनत करना थोड़ी. सो गाइस, देर आर डिफरेंट वेट्स और द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट आई एम अटैचिंग. लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी 65 years, full length, okay, that is the value. 0.65 at the time of detection, 18 years pe, and 28 years. Basically, for 10 years, I will experience this. 0.03 for 17 years. Now, there are different cases. So, suppose I go for the treatment, okay? If I go for the treatment, they are saying the treatment is fully successful. I would have a full life expectancy, that is 65 years. So, kind of calories or the life that I have is 65 years into the weight. So 65 into 1 becomes your 65 years. So ultimately, how many years I'm able to expand? So at the age of 18 years, I was detected. So basically, 47 years of my life have been expanded because I went for the treatment. Guys, I hope this point is clear. Is this clear? समझ आया सबको? चिया को आ गया, बाकियों को आ गया? Okay. So, guys, second is that without treatment, what is happening? My life probability or the quality is only 0.65 for the first 10 years. Then it becomes 0.03 for the remaining 17 years. Okay. And then it is, of course, zero. I don't have any other life. So, that 0.65 into 10 plus 0.03 into 17. So, without treatment, my life that I'm living is only worth 7.01 years. Is this correct? Is that understandable? Guys, is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, guys, ultimately what we have to figure it out, kitna calories I could expand because of treatment minus without treatment. So with treatment, 47 years of life expanded, minus 7.01 is the life which is without treatment. Okay. So ultimately the expansion is the calories saved is 39.99 years. That is simply an answer. I hope it is clear.
Yes,
ठीक है, बस यही करना था। ये पहले भी एक एग्जांपल कराया था बट इसमें मैंने थोड़ा सा चेंज कर दिया था। दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस। ओके, सो गाइस प्लीज डू दीस क्वेश्चंस, नथिंग।
मैम कैन यू शो द डॉक एक बार जिसमें आपने न्यूमेरिकल्स लिखे थे, बस वो एक बार दिखाओ।
मैं वो शेयर कर दूंगी गूगल क्लासरूम में। अन्या, वो फाइल ऑलरेडी वैसे शेयर की है।
हाँ, इसीलिए बोल रही थी उस छोटे
हाँ, मैं
डॉक।
दे रही हूँ, मैं दे रही हूँ, एक सेकंड।
थैंक यू मैम।
ओके, सो गाइस दिस इट। सो कुछ भी बियॉन्ड नहीं है, जो पढ़ा है, जो नोट्स हैं, जो न्यूमेरिकल्स हैं, उनको अच्छे से कर लेना। ओके, ठीक है। So guys, okay, then I say bye. Okay, do well.